What is up, boyos? And welcome to Last Week in Games, where everything is video games. And this is a very special episode of Last Week in Games. In fact, I'm posting it not even on my typical Monday talking about the previous week. I'm going to be posting it on a Friday, and we're actually just going to be talking about what happened yesterday in games, because we're going to be talking about the Game Awards. I actually do have two big stories to talk about. Of course, number one is the Game Awards, which we're going to go into great detail about. We're going to talk about the Game Awards, everything that was announced, everything that was shown off, as well as I wanted to talk about Grand Theft Auto 6 and the trailer that was dropped for Grand Theft Auto 6. So buckle up. Let's talk video games. First things first, I want to talk about the GTA 6 trailer, and this was dropped, I believe, on Monday or Tuesday of this week, and it really set the world on fire. It's been rumored for a long time that this game was going to take place in Vice City. Now it is officially confirmed that this game takes place in Vice City. We didn't really see any gameplay for this game, but I don't think we really need gameplay for Grand Theft Auto in its very first teaser trailer, because we know what Grand Theft Auto is. That being said, I really want to see some gameplay from this game. I want to know what kind of changes they made. One thing in particular that I really want to see from Grand Theft Auto 6 is an updated shooting system. I think the shooting in GTA 5 just does not feel very good, and I hope that they can upgrade it and make it feel a lot better. Besides that, GTA 5 still holds up incredibly well to this day, and it's wild that, it's from GTA 5 to GTA 6, it's been about 11 years almost, and the game still is great. Driving in that game is wonderful. The city is great, and that's another thing that's worth mentioning is we did get to see a map of the city, and the map of the city versus GTA 5 is massive, and I love to see it. I'm so excited to play this game. One thing I was kind of disappointed in was the fact that this game is not coming out until 2025. Normally I would say whatever, take as much time as you need. But I gotta say, I'm pretty sure they've taken as much time as they need, considering it's been 11 years since we've gotten a GTA game. Doesn't matter. I'm going to play the shit out of this game. I'm going to be in day one. If there's a bomb going off outside, I will walk through the bomb to get GTA 6. You know what I'm saying? The other thing we heard about GTA 6 is that it will be a PlayStation limited time exclusive, which is interesting. I don't think that's out of the blue for GTA. I think that's pretty normal for GTA. In fact, I remember like San Andreas and Vice City and GTA 3 even being PlayStation exclusives back in the day. They did come to PC eventually, but I think the precedent has changed over the past 10 years, though, considering GTA has been a massive game on both PlayStation and Xbox, and especially PC. And I don't think we're going to see this game on PC for at least a few months after the release of the game, which is interesting. I still have a PS5, so I will definitely be picking it up on PS5, but I do primarily play on PC these days, and I'm pretty disappointed that I won't be able to pick it up on PC. The other thing that's worth mentioning is this game doesn't come out till 2025, and a lot of people with PCs are like, man, is my PC going to be strong enough in 2 years to play this game? So that's something we're going to have to keep an eye out for, but I am counting on Rockstar to optimize the hell out of this game. They've had all of the time in the world, even considering that they made Red Dead Redemption 2. It's been like 5 years since that game came out. So they've had tons of development time, and they still have 2 more years to, really, polish it up and get it ready to go. Disappointed it's not coming out next year, but I can't wait to see more on this game in the coming year. I'm sure we will see more this year at some point. Now let's break into the biggest piece of news that happened last week. Of course, it is the Game Awards. The Game Awards happened last night, and just initial thoughts. I thought all of the reveal trailers and the quote unquote world premieres were great. There was a ton of really cool stuff announced at the Game Awards, and that is a big reason why people watch. One thing I was pretty disappointed in with the Game Awards was the fact that there were a lot of video games that won awards that didn't get a chance for the devs to come up and actually do a speech. And when they did get a chance to do a speech, it was like a 30-second speech, and then they started to get cut off, which is really disappointing, especially in a year where so many devs have lost their jobs. There's been talks that the video games industry should unionize, and it's just disappointing that this day of recognizing the industry, warts and all, they just didn't really get a chance to, and it just felt like a big advertisement. Granted, the advertisements were awesome, and I really enjoy that aspect of it, and I think that's a big reason why people watch the Game Awards, but I just feel like maybe they were compensating for the Christopher Judge speech that lasted 8 minutes last year, but I feel like the pendulum went too far the opposite direction, because we went from an 8-minute speech, which was a great speech. It definitely felt a little long last year, to now 30-second speeches. I mean, come on, the guys from Baldur's Gate deserve at least like a minute and a half to do a speech before they start getting cut off. Sam Lake deserves a chance to shout out his dev team, shout out as many people as he can. It just sucks that that's what happened, and I've seen a lot of outcry online about it from the industry, and I think Jeff is watching. Jeff is watching. I think this is one of the best Game Awards as far as pacing and all that, and the only real issue I had with it was the fact that these dev teams didn't get a chance to really talk. So let's just hop into it. Let's talk about some of the things we saw. Let's talk about the winners. Let's just break it all down. The first thing we saw was a pre-show. We got a pre-show at the start of this bad boy where Sydney Goodman came out in this really weird looking dress. And, we got a few announcements and a few award announcements as well at the beginning. And the first announcement we saw was a remake from Josef Fares of Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons. Of course, a couple of years ago, Josef Fares and his team won Best Game for It Takes Two, and one of their first games that they made was Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons. And it looks like they went back and they just fully built it from the ground up. And I'm excited to see how this turns out, if it's better than the original, because I know it's a little dated. I mean, even at the time, it was kind of, rough. It was an indie game, and so now I'm sure they've got a little bit more budget, and I'm excited to see how this turns out. After that, we got the announcement of the winner of Best Family Game. And the winner of Best Family Game was, of course, Mario Wonder. And Doug Bowser came up, gave a little speech, shouting at Nintendo. And yeah, of course, that's to be expected. Very cool. Not surprised by that win there at all. After that, we got a trailer for a game by the creators of Inscription, which looks absolutely bonkers. So weird, like changing gameplay styles. Just randomly, Sungwon Cho shows up, the famous YouTuber / voice actor. He just shows up in the middle of it. This game looks absolutely wild. It's called Pony Island 2. Definitely want to keep an eye out on. I imagine it's sort of a puzzle-ish type game. Very excited for that one. Another game that looked kind of cool in the pre-show was this game called Usual June, which had this really cool, almost, I don't want to give it too much hype because it didn't look quite as good as this, but it has almost like a Spider-Verse, cartoony meets CG thing going on with it. And the gameplay almost kind of looked like Returnal. It doesn't look like, as fluent as Returnal or Across the Spider-Verse or anything like that, but it definitely looks really, really interesting, and something that, if it comes out and delivers on what it's showing here, could actually be pretty fucking cool. So shout out to that. Then we got the winner for Best Innovation and Accessibility, which went to Forza Motorsport, which great. I love that. They talked about how literally a blind person could play Forza Motorsport, and I honestly feel like this is one of the most important awards. It's something very close to my heart, is making gaming accessible to as many people as possible. I just love that. Very passionate about it. So I love that that's even an award at all. And shout out to Forza for like really pushing the boundaries on that stuff. From the creators of Dead Cells, we saw this game called Windblown, which announced it's coming to early access in 2024. This game looks really cool. I wish we got to see a little bit more gameplay. We saw a lot of animation and cutscenes sort of stuff from it, but we did get to see some gameplay. What it looks like to me is sort of like a Supergiant game, like Hades or something like that. But it looks like it's 3-player co-op as well. So a nice twist on that kind of gameplay. I don't know if it's like a roguelike or what's going on, or if there's actually just like a story throughout the whole thing. I'd imagine if this animation is in it throughout, there's probably just like pre-made story stuff, but I don't know. It could be like a roguelike thing. I'm down either way. Dead Cells is a really, really cool game, and I'm happy to see them at the Game Awards announcing their next game. Another game that I was happy to see announced, this was also at the pre-show, was from the creator of Thumper, was a new game called Thrasher, which seems to be taking that rhythm game type gameplay that you get from Thumper and putting it into VR as sort of a new take on the rhythm game, which I'm all about. The visuals look really nice. I'll probably never play it because I don't have VR, but if I did have VR, I'd be pretty excited about this. Of course, we got to see more Persona 3 Remake. Nothing really new to talk about. It's coming out February 2nd, which I believe we already knew about, and I'm very excited about it. It's just a new trailer, and goddamn, this game looks so good. I am so excited to play it. Never played Persona 3, but I love Persona 5, so I'm very excited to go back and play this one. I can't wait. Another big announcement that we got in the pre-show was Dave the Diver Dredge, which is coming out in December. This looks like a DLC for Dave the Diver, and people love Dave the Diver. And yeah, I mean, if you like Dave the Diver, this is definitely something to keep your eye on. The last big announcement that we got in the pre-show was World of Goo 2, which World of Goo back in the day was sort of a sleeper hit. And it's been a long time since there's been a World of Goo game. So that's pretty exciting for people who are into World of Goo. I never really played them, so I don't have much to say about it, but it looks like more World of Goo if I had to say anything about it. And then just to wrap it up, we got another trailer for Metaphor ReFantasio, which is by the makers of Persona. And this game looks so fucking awesome. I just love the UI in all of these Atlas games. They all just look amazing. The animated cutscenes look so good. This looks like it has more of a hack and slasher sort of vibe to it, with the turn-based stuff also included in the game, sort of like a hybrid sort of thing going on. But I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see. I'm very, very excited for this. I will play it as soon as it comes out, which I don't think they put a date on it or anything. So just another trailer. So then we got to the actual show, and the actual show, Jeff came out. He was looking fly as hell, as he always does. I mean, Jeff is always looking good. He's always got them cool kicks on. Look at everyone. So excited to see him. Doug Bowser, he was there. Kind of an awkward start. He just sort of shouts people out, name drops a bunch of industry vets that are in the audience. Kind of cool. And then that led up to us getting Christopher Judge coming out, who presented Best Actor. Chris Judge did get a pretty sweet diss in there right at the start. He talked about how his 8-minute speech last year was longer than the new Call of Duty's campaign, which was a sweet diss, and I love to see it. Any hate towards Call of Duty, I'm all about, all day, every day. The winner of Best Performance, of course, went to Asterion from Baldur's Gate 3, the guy who played Asterion. I'm okay with that win. I think it's cool that it went to him, but I think Cameron Monaghan maybe could have won that. I mean, his performance in Star Wars was just phenomenal. As well as Yuri Lowenthal in Spider-Man, his performance was out of this world. So giving it to Asterion, who could die in your campaign in the first 2 minutes of the game if you play it wrong, felt a little weird, but, you know, still shout out to him. And then out of nowhere, fucking Matthew McConaughey comes out to introduce some game called Exodus, which was just so bizarre. But I guess it deals with time dilation, and I guess the connection there is like it's like Interstellar. I think Matthew McConaughey is also in the game, maybe? I don't know. I wasn't totally clear. He didn't seem to be in the trailer, so it was just kind of weird. But it was definitely just like a vibes-based trailer. It was all CG stuff and just like people fighting. As a gamer, I want to know what the game is, you know? And I understand they don't want to show off these gameplay trailers when the game isn't ready. So they just, you know, chuck together a CG trailer just to get things sold. And I completely understand that. But like when I see a trailer like this, I'm like, I have no idea. I have no idea. That's a really cool trailer, but like I have no idea what this game is. And I will probably forget what this game is because it's just a CG trailer. And if you were to show me gameplay tomorrow, I would have no idea what the game is. You know what I mean? But then, as I was having those feelings, they surprised me, and they showed a second trailer connected to that first Exodus trailer where we got to see gameplay. And it's a third-person action game, and it looks really fucking awesome. See, this is what I want to see from trailers. I want to see shooting. I want to see what the platforming looks like. I want to know what the game is. Is it a puzzle game? What is it? And they delivered. So for that, shout out to this new Exodus game. I think it looks really cool. I thought the trailer was cool. I love that they showed gameplay. This is how you do it. Right after that, we got an announcement of God of War free DLC, which I love free things, and I have God of War, so let's go. And what the free DLC is it's a roguelike inside of God of War. So if you want to play more God of War and just want to play it endlessly for the rest of time, there you go. It's a roguelike. It seems like Sony is hopping on that roguelike train. My guess is, hey, we have all these assets and we have all of this really cool gameplay. Why not make a roguelike out of it? It's probably pretty easy for the devs. Not that they didn't work hard on this, but it's probably an easy turnaround for them to just toss in a roguelike DLC. So I bet we'll see more and more of this coming from Sony in the coming future. I bet like when we get the new Ghost of Tsushima game, it will have a roguelike in it or a roguelike DLC. So very cool. Very excited about this. My opportunity to just hop back into God of War. After that, we got a pretty like long trailer for a game by the guys who made Untitled Goose Game, which was a huge success a few years ago. And this game is called Big Walk, which looks really fucking cute and funny. I love the little like bird ant things that are in this game, and what it looks like to me is like a co-op puzzle game where you can get in this game with your friends and try to solve puzzles together, and I love that. I love solving puzzles with my friends. I'm gonna try and speed this up because man, we have a lot more to talk about here. This was a packed to the gills show, so we're gonna go through a lot of this a little bit quicker. But the next thing we saw was a really cool musical performance from the guys over at Xbox with Hellblade. This performance was so cool. Like the set design was cool. This is what I love about Game Awards. I wish Game Awards did more of this. It was just so rad. And then right after that, we got a trailer for the game, which looks unbelievable. I mean, the animation is just out of this fucking world. I love the first Hellblade, and I'm very, very excited for this game. Unfortunately, all we got out of it was them saying coming in 2024. And it's like, yeah, I kind of assumed it was coming in 2024. I wish we got a little bit more details than that. You know what I mean? Then we got the announcement for winner of Best Narrative, which went to Alan Wake, and I was just so goddamn happy to see it was Alan Wake because that game is so good, and I was so worried because this game came out so recently that it would kind of get snubbed for a lot of these awards, but it didn't. It won quite a bit of awards, and it won Best Narrative, which fantastic stuff. Love to see it. And then after that, we got a trailer Well, the girl, the like very endearing dev from Ghostwire Tokyo, I guess if you remember a few years ago, she came out at the Game Awards and everyone just thought she was like so endearing. She came out and was trying a little too hard to continue to do that sort of endearing thing. It was almost a little cringe. But, all that being said, she did show off a new game that she's working on called Kimuri. And it was definitely just like a vibes trailer, it showed off some really cool vibes. I'm not totally sure what the game is, but I got to tell you, the vibes are there and the vibes are so hot. This game looks really, really fucking cool. Really cool character design, really cool enemy design. I can't wait to see what this game is, and I need to see more of it immediately. Gonzo came out for some reason. He was there. And that led to the announcement of Best Indie, and Best Indie did go to Cocoon, which from all accounts deserved it. Everyone loves Cocoon. After that, we got like a mega cut of stuff that Sega is working on, and Sega right now is currently working on like 5 different games, and 2 of those games I think are really important to shout out. A new Jet Set Radio, which fuck yeah, let's go Jet Set Radio. Yes. And then also a new Crazy Taxi, which, come on, Crazy Taxi, fuck yes. These are 2 games that I've been missing in my life. I've been missing it in my life big time. We got an announcement from the guys over at Supergiant Games, the guys who made Until Dawn and The Quarry. They're making a new game called... what's it called here? The Casting of Frank Stone, which just looks like another really cool, like, teen thriller, horror game, which I absolutely loved Until Dawn, and I am so down for another game like that. So shout out to them for that. We also just got an announcement at this thing for the new Mana game, like in the Mana series called Visions of Mana. I think it looks really fucking cool, actually. It's got this like Kingdom Hearts sort of style to it. I mean, it is made by Square Enix, so makes sense. But I think it looks really fucking nice. Then we got an announcement from Team Ninja that they're making a game called Rise of the Ronin. If you don't know who Team Ninja is, they made the Neo games. And this kind of looks like Neo 3, but just sort of rebranded. And this is coming out March 22nd. So if you love the Neo games, this is definitely one to check out. I never really got into the Neo games just because those sort of Souls-likes. I've played a few of them, and I like them every time I play them, but I'm just bad at video games, so you know how it is. Then we got Best Art Direction, which went to Alan Wake 2. Best Action Game, which went to Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon. Those were 2 categories that, again, didn't get a chance to, do a speech, which it's unfortunate. Best Mobile Game didn't get a speech. I kind of get that one, but I don't know, like how they're deciding who and who doesn't get a speech, and then when they do get a speech, it's 30 seconds. Once again, it's just so disappointing. Then probably the most hype section of the Game Awards was Hideo Kojima came out. Looking fly as hell as always. Of course, Jeff Keighley absolutely cheesing. That's his bestie. That's his lover. Hideo Kojima came out and he's like, hey, I'm working on a new game with Xbox. It's called OD, which, obviously a game, 2 letters called OD. He comes out of a door that looks like PT, we getting the connections there. But then the craziest thing was yet to come. After he was like, yeah, I'm very excited about this game. We've been working on it for a while. Hunter Schafer is in the game. We've got other incredible actors in the game as well. It's sort of a mixed media kind of game where it's like half movie, half game. Right after he said that, someone else came out of the door, and that someone else was Jordan fucking Peele, dude. Jordan Peele came out and was like, hey, I am so happy to announce that I am working with Hideo Kojima on OD, and this game is going to be fucking huge, and it's going to be massive. Dude, I am so excited for that. I mean, anything Hideo Kojima makes, I'm excited about. But then him and Jordan Peele working together on a horror game, come on, inject it into my veins tomorrow, baby. One thing I will say, though, where the fuck is Death Stranding 2? That's what I want to know. I want more Death Stranding right now. Like, tomorrow, please. Please. Then we got the announcement for Best Audio Design, which went to Hi-Fi Rush, which I was very happy about. Shout out to Hi-Fi Rush for winning Best Audio Design. They definitely deserved it. That game is incredible. If you haven't played Hi-Fi Rush, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. Then we got an announcement for a new like game mode in Fortnite called Rocket Racing, where it seems like they took the gameplay of Rocket League and turned it into an actual like racing type game, and I'm here for it. I want to hear more about it before I just like jump in and play it. I don't want to waste my time if it's bad, but if I hear it's pretty good, I might download Fortnite and give it the old college try. It comes out today, so I could probably look up what people are saying. Let me look it up right now. Over at Digital Trends, they're saying that it's like the best racing game of the year. This isn't a simple kart racer that anyone could have put together in Fortnite. It's a full-throated, free-to-play game that features 26 tracks at launch and some surprisingly deep driving systems. Wow. Well, there you go. People are really loving this game. I'm down to give it a try. I'll have to try it out next week. We saw a trailer for Black Myth Wukong, which I think looks really fucking awesome. This game comes out in August, I believe. And yeah, just a lot of the character designs look really, really nice. I love the aesthetic of this game. It looks really fucking cool. Chia got the award for games for impact, which is great. I hear people really love Chia. It was a game that I meant to play like months and months ago, and I just never got around to it. So shout out to Chia for that. And my boy Shuhei Yoshida came up and accepted the award. I love Shuhei Yoshida. He's the man. He is the man. We got an announcement for a new game by the guys who made Life is Strange. And this game looks like, more teenage angst in a video game, which I'm going to be honest, I fucking love that shit. I love some teenage angst in my video games. This game is called Lost Records, and yeah, I'm very, very interested in this game. I really like the Life is Strange games, and I'm curious to see what they're doing now that they're kind of moving on from that franchise. We also saw this game, First Berserker of Kazan, which looks pretty cool. It's like this cel-shaded art style, but kind of has like God of War gameplay. I'm kind of interested in it. I appreciate that they showed gameplay. Love that. You love to see gameplay, and it looks really fun actually. So we'll see. It could be another one of those games though that like looks cool, and then you actually play it and you're like, wow, this is kind of ass. But yeah, it looks really nice. We got a really cool like symphony performance by Final Fantasy VII. They were playing all the Final Fantasy VII music, and it was really, really, really nice, really enjoyable. Once again, these are things that I love to see at the Game Awards, is them actually like showing love for franchises by like different artistic performances and, bringing out different game developers and stuff. Like I love that aspect of the Game Awards, and I wish we got more of that at this Game Awards. But after we saw that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth sort of symphony stuff, it was announced that you can now use Cloud's sword in Apex Legends. So Apex is Fortniting. That is what's happening. Apex is Fortniting. And if you want to use Cloud's sword, it's coming very soon to Apex. And then best score went to Final Fantasy 16. Best indie went to Sea of Stars. Best community support went to Baldur's Gate 3. Best fighting game went to Street Fighter, and most anticipated game went to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. This was another section where it's just like they just rattled off all these winners, and no one got to do a speech or anything, which I think is just such a bummer. Once again, I cannot stress that enough, how much of a bummer that is. But then after that, we got a really, really cool announcement. The guys over at Arcane are working on a new game, and when it started off, I was like, what is this game? Like, it shows them, in a barber shop, and I'm like, what is happening? Like, what is going on with this barber? And it's like super ominous. It keeps like zooming in on the dude's neck. Like, oh shit, is he gonna slit this guy's neck? Is he gonna like bite his neck? Like, what is going on here? And then on the news, we get this thing that's like, oh, there's vampires coming, and then the guy in the barber chair like stands up, opens up his jacket, and you're like, oh my god, that's fucking Blade, dude. So Arcane is making a Blade game. Marvel's Blade. What? I love Arcane. I love Dishonored. Dishonored was great. I loved Deathloop. I thought Deathloop was a lot of fun. Never got around to playing Ghostwire Tokyo, but Blade, that's a slam dunk. Like, come on, Arcane making a Blade game? Like, that's perfect. That's perfect. But something interesting that was stated, they brought the developers out and they kind of talked for a minute, and they mentioned that it's a third-person action game, which is interesting because Arcane isn't known for making third-person games. They make first-person games. So, kind of interesting. I'd be down for a Blade game being first-person, honestly, but a third-person action game, I fuck with it. I fuck with it super heavy. So, that was definitely one of the highlights of the show. Absolutely. Then the winner of Best Ongoing Game went to Cyberpunk 2077, which I think is deserved considering all of the changes they've made to Cyberpunk. And, I think best community support would have probably been better suited for them. But Best Ongoing Game makes sense. Yeah, very, very cool. Then we got this trailer from developer Lightspeed Games. They're making a game called Last Sentinel. I believe the guys over at Lightspeed, a lot of them used to work at GTA. I might be mistaken on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And this trailer didn't show much besides, being a CG trailer, which I understand. I'm sure this game is like super, super early in development. So I'm curious. The vibes are cool, though. Very nice CG trailer. I'm seeing like mechs. I'm seeing a sort of cyberpunk future type thing. This guy comes in like all John Wick style and starts shooting a bunch of people. I don't know. I don't have much to say about the game because, like I said, they didn't show any gameplay. Still cool. We saw a trailer for Zenless Zone Zero. I don't care. It's by the guys who made Genshin. I don't know. I don't like getting nickeled and dimed while I play video games. So there you go. We also saw this like mech game that looks like old school Armored Core called Mecha Break. It looks very simplistic and doesn't look like it has a lot going on, but I'm all about it. I'd be down to play it, I guess, if it's good. Well, we'll have to wait and see. We got this amazing performance by the Old Gods of Asgard, which is the band from Alan Wake 2. And if you haven't played Alan Wake 2, this will make no sense to you, but like, if you've played Alan Wake 2, this performance was excellent. It was so awesome. I mean, even if you haven't played it, this is still excellent. And it does give you the sort of like vibes that are going on inside of Alan Wake. Just goofy. For like such a scary game, it's so goofy and funny, and it was awesome. Walton Goggins and a few of the actors from the upcoming Fallout show are, they came out on stage and did a little speech or whatever, and then they presented the Fallout trailer, which I think looks really good. I hope it's good. My only issue with this trailer is that everyone's outfits look so clean. Why does everyone look so fucking clean in this game or in this movie, show, whatever it is? You would think people would look like sort of disheveled and fucked up, They also presented Best Adaptation, which to me, like, if you're not doing a lot of the awards, like, and not letting people have speeches, like, Best Adaptation should have been done in the pre-show. Like, it's barely an award, but they got to go up, Neil Cuckman and Godly Neil. We love Dr. Uckman over here at Lonercast. But he went up on stage and got to do a speech, and I just think that's fucked up when there's like indie developers that didn't get to do a speech, Best adaptation, I mean, it's cool. Like, there's been a lot of great adaptations this year, but like, I would have loved to see anything else get a speech versus this. And that's no hate towards them. Like, they both should have gotten a speech, you know, like, but if you're going to have to pick and choose, like, this is one of the ones that I probably would have cut. Best action adventure game went to Zelda Breath of the Wild. That might have been like one of the only awards Zelda won, but shout out to Zelda. It's funny, like any other year, Zelda would have won everything, but Baldur's Gate 3 came out and won everything, because then Best RPG went to Baldur's Gate 3, Best Sim went to Pikmin 4, Best Sports Game went to Forza, Best Multiplayer went to Baldur's Gate 3, and Player's Choice went to Baldur's Gate 3 as well. We also got an announcement for Final Fantasy 16 DLC, Echoes of the Fallen / The Rushing Tide. So they're two separate DLCs that are coming out very soon. We also got an announcement that the finals, which if you don't know what the finals is, it's like this like first person twitchy shooter that's really fast paced, and you have to like collect money and deliver it and stuff, and it's multiplayer, and it's just a ton of fun. I played it in the open beta. Well, they came out and they announced, hey, this game is out right fucking now. And I have to tell you guys, after the show, I went and played the finals with a friend, or I tried to. First of all, we weren't able to connect in a lobby for some reason. Like, it wouldn't let us send invites. And then when we got into a match, we just each played our own matches. We couldn't move. Like, it wouldn't let us move, and then it kept lagging out, and it was just like stuttering, and everyone got disconnected from the servers. And I was just like, okay, I'll play this game next week when all of this is sorted out. I think everyone just left the Game Awards and started playing the finals, and it just shut down their fucking servers. It was wild. I forgot to mention as well, Best Direction went to Alan Wake 2. Alan Wake 2 got Best Direction, which is fantastic. I think Sam Lake is one of the best game directors of all time. He's up there with like Hideo Kojima and Neil Druckmann. Like Neil Druckmann, Hideo Kojima, Sam Lake, they're like on a totally other, Cory Barlog is probably part of that conversation as well. They're just like next level game directors, Amy Hennig, just the peak directors, and Sam Lake getting recognized for Alan Wake 2 I think is phenomenal. I think that's an easy game to be overlooked, and I'm so happy that at this Game Awards it was not overlooked. The last big trailer we got was the announcement from Capcom that we're getting a new Monster Hunter game called Monster Hunter Wilds. And it looks like a pseudo sequel to Monster Hunter World. I'm very excited for this. I think a lot of my friends are very excited for this. I'm so down to play more Monster Hunter with the boys. And I hope it is like Monster Hunter World. It looks like Monster Hunter World, but there's like a lot more fucking monsters in the world and a lot more like gameplay elements going on. So yeah, very, very excited for that. Now what you've all been waiting for, the winner of Game of the Year, and of course the winner of Game of the Year went to Baldur's Gate 3. I've seen a lot of weird backlash online that Baldur's Gate 3 won. Like, we didn't all know that that Baldur's Gate was gonna fucking win. I think there's just like a lot of gamers who don't play a lot of games that watched the Game Awards last night, and they're like, what the fuck is Baldur's Gate 3, man? But fuck those guys, dude. Baldur's Gate 3 definitely deserved it. Shout out to Baldur's Gate 3. Spider-Man's a great game, like, don't get me wrong, but like, it didn't stand a chance against Baldur's Gate 3. It was one of the best games ever released, like, ever. So, and I mean, like, Spider-Man 2 is too, but like, Baldur's Gate 3 is just like a whole other level. We're going to be talking about Baldur's Gate 3 for like years and years and years. And I don't think the same will be said about Spider-Man 2. Not that it's a bad game. I love Spider-Man 2. It's one of my games of the year for sure. But like, Baldur's Gate 3 is just like a whole other fucking level. All right, guys. Well, I really appreciate you guys hanging out. I did skip over like a few things here and there that happened in the Game Awards, but I think I covered all the like big nasty stuff. So if I'd love to hear what you guys thought of the Game Awards. Leave your comments down below. We can have a conversation. I'm so down. I always reply to comments. So leave a comment down below. We can talk. And yeah, check us out next week for Last Week in Games. Bye-bye. Oh, yeah. Check us out on Twitch, twitch.tv/lonercast. Also, we watch the Game Awards live, so if you want to watch our reactions, that's up on our YouTube channel as well. Just go to the live panel. It's in there. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys. Twitch.tv/lonercast. Lonercast forever.